Good morning, children. We will study history today, and in history, till now, you have read about the world history, and today we are going to study history of your country, that's India. Being the citizen of the country, we should know the history of our country. So, from this, you can make it out very well that we are going to study the third chapter of your history book, that is India in the 18th century. And in this chapter, we will study about the decline of the Mughal Empire, growth of independent kingdoms, the kingdom Bengal and Marathas. Okay, so let's start the chapter, children. As you know, Aurangzeb, you might be familiar with this name. He was the one from Mughal Empire who had this rule or empire all over the country. But children, within 3 decades of Aurangzeb's death, the Mughal Empire split into independent and semi-independent principles. Now, children, I think you are very clear about the decades. 1 decade is equal to 10 years. So 3 decades means 30 years. Okay. So, as Aurangzeb, he was the ruler of Mughal Empire, and after his death, the Mughal Empire was split into independent and many independent principalities. As it's written in your book that after the death of Aurangzeb, a war of succession followed among his three sons for the throne. Throne means the empire, control of the empire. Okay. Finally, one of his sons ascended the throne under the title of Shah Alam. Okay, so one of his son took over the control of the Mughal Empire. Okay, and Farooq Shah became the emperor who granted the British the farmland. Mughals emperors remained the puppets in the hand of Britishers. Now, children, farmland over here means it's a royal order bearing the seal of emperor during Mughal period. Right now in present situation, we have a government whose order is the final order, and he is the one who is ruling all over the country, and he is taking good care of our country. But at that time when we didn't have the government, there was the emperor. Okay, there was an empire, and he was the main leader who is leading and controlling the empire which is under his control. So farmland means a legal permission which a person has, and he can do, with that permission he can do whatever he feel likes. So this Farooq Siyar became the emperor, and he gave the legal authority to the Britishers. Okay, and as Mughal emperors, they remained the puppets in the hands of the Britishers. So they used to do accordingly what the Britisher asked them to do. Emperor Muhammad Shah retained the throne, but the invaders plundered the city. Plundered means stealing the cities. And as the Muhammad Shah retained the throne, it means that he has left the throne, but the invaders has taken away all the precious thing from the city. They have carried all crown jewels from the Red Fort, including the famous Kohinoor diamond and the costly peacock throne of Shah Jahan. So they have taken all the precious jewels from our country. Okay. Next, Emperor Muhammad. Okay, we have done this. Next, the Mughal rulers came under the protection of Marathas and finally under the Britishers. So, Mughal Empire, as it is being told, it is splitted. So, they need the protection, and they have taken from the Marathas, and finally they had to take it from the Britishers. And this way, the Britishers came to our country, and they have taken the control from slowly with the help of these emperors. They have taken the control from in all over the parts of our country. Okay, now we will see the growth of independent kingdoms. Now, children, the independent kingdoms, they were independent rulers like governors of Deccan, Bengal, Awadh. Everyone became independent rulers. Even the Rajput states became independent, but were finally brought under the control of the Maratha chiefs. Okay, so it means that Marathas were finally taking control over all over the countries. So let's start with the independent kingdoms. The first kingdom which we are going to deal is the Bengal. Okay. Bengal became an independent province by AD 1770 under Murshid Quli Khan. So Bengal was looked after by Murshid Quli Khan. He was the person who was controlling the Bengal. Okay, in AD 1740, Bengal was ruled by Alvi Alvi Wardi Khan. Okay, the two persons were looking after the Bengal. They were having the control of Bengal kingdom. That was Murshid Quli Khan and Alwardi, and both of this were very capable rulers, very good rulers who has made the Bengal flourished. So under their control, the Bengal was uplifted and flourished. Okay. Now, Bengal was officially a province of Mughal because both of them belonged from the Mughal Empire, and both made the Bengal flourished under their control. So, Bengal was officially a province of Mughal, and English established themselves firmly in Bengal and gradually occupied the whole country. As I've informed you, children, slowly, this Britishers took the control in the small kingdoms, and finally they have taken the control in all over the country. Okay, the next kingdom which we are going to deal is Marathas. Okay, now under the successful leadership of the three generations of the Peshwas, one was Balaji Vishwanath, Bajirao I, and Balaji Bajirao, the Marathas expanded their territory. So under these three rulers, they were under the one generation, that is Peshwas, and they expanded the territory. That means they expanded their rules. Okay, their control over the country, and slowly with the help of all these three, Marathas had control over following places. They took control over Gujarat, Delhi, Bengal, Odisha, and Marathas influence was felt all over the India. So they were the one who were ruling all over the country, slowly occupying these states. They have taken control over all over the country. The governor of Punjab revolted against the Afghans and invited Marathas to help them. So governor of Punjab, they had a fight with the Afghans, and they invited Marathas to help them to have a fight or revolt against the Afghans. Due to that, the Maratha and Afghans, they had a clash in the historic battlefield of Panipat in AD 1761. Okay, so this was a reason where Marathas and Afghan came in front of each other, and they had a clash. Okay, now decline of Marathas. How, when, why? Let's see. After the death of Peshwa Balaji Bajirao, the failure of Panipat destroyed the house of the Peshwas. That means the rulers of Peshwas, they were destroyed and made the Maratha chiefs independent control of the central authority. So after the death of Peshwa Bajirao, the Marathas, the Peshwas power was being declined, and the Maratha chiefs independent control of the central authority means the each one was taking control independent, not as united as one but divided. Okay, and due to that, each one of them was engaged in bitter rivalry against each other. Now due to independent control over the authority made them have a rivalry against each other, which made the Peshwa take help from British. As independently they were not able to take their control, they were not able to fight, they were not able to succeed, so they needed a help of someone else. So they started taking the help of the British, and ultimately this made the way for the British to take control over Maratha Empire. The Maratha Empire, which was the greatest empire who took control over this so many places, being together united, but after the fight and rivalry they took the help of the Britishers, which made the Britishers find the way to take control over the Maratha Empire. And after the Maratha Empire, slowly they took control over the country. This was the condition of India in the 18th century. Okay, so this is your chapter all about. And children, go through the chapter once, read it, and if you find any problem, any difficulty, you could not understand anything, you can ask me, call me, text me. Okay, please go through your chapter once. Thank you.